Hi Leo, welcome to your late June to mid-July reading. Okay, Mars is in Taurus and it has been squaring Pluto for the past few weeks. And in your life, I suppose the past few weeks have been about power. Who has all the power, who wants all the power, but also that Gemini rewind where you sit and look back at your life and you think back at your relationships, your traumas. And there it is. So glaring, so obvious. Everybody wants the power. I literally have written here, and I'm going to put it at the end of the video so you can see it. The second note down. What's triggering your ego? Why are you not able to close the lion's mouth? It's the second note I have here. So, okay, first of all, for those of you who are new, this is the Leo card. Second of all, let's go through the very basic meaning of this card before we go any further. We're doing a little bit of an in-depth video today. So, we are our strength, our grace, our nobility, but also our primal nature and the vibrance that primal nature brings us. We are all of these things. And yet strength is being able to use the nobler parts of yourself, to have some control over your primal nature. She is able to close the lion's mouth. She is able to quell the ego, if not neutralize it. Quell is probably more accurate. So when we ask what's been keeping you from closing the lion's mouth, essentially what I'm asking is what's been keeping you from being yourself. And I think the past 3 weeks with this Mars and Taurus squaring Pluto, irritating the environment, you've had some deep talks with yourself about where you are not able to have the power. You've also, like I said, been thinking about all those different people in your life that just wanted the power. And for some of you, it's really confusing, right? Because the people that you're realizing have attempted to usurp your power or at one point had control over you. You didn't have any autonomy. I'm trying to find a gentler way to say it, but that's what it is. For those of you who are just waking up to how you've been controlled and how your power has been taken from you, whether it was you doing it or somebody else, it's been a really confusing time. And yet here we are. Today marks the beginning of a very fruitful time for you, because you have figured out where your nature has been holding you back. One of the ways that this becomes so easy to understand for you is that you have a revelation in the next 10 days or so that people's priorities and values are very different from yours. It's a little refresher, but something happens where you're like, ooh, that's okay. I have a very clear vision of what I'm attracting into my life. And that's what the Strength card is about as well. This period of time, Cancer season for you, is about figuring out how to have ultimate control, which is to know yourself so well and be so healed that you don't have to have active control of anything. Trust being the ultimate control. Trust being the ultimate power. But for that, you need grace. For that, you need love. For that, to attract that, you need to be strong and gracious and loving and kind and conscientious and moral and have strong ethics. And you have those things. So where it has been a time of confusion that really nobody could help you through, that's all of June, is just who has tried to keep your mouth closed. In what situations are you the woman? In what situations have you been the lion whose mouth was being closed? And in what situations have you not been able to close the lion's mouth? And just that rewind, that Gemini rewind of just looking at everything, thinking about everything, seeing yourself in the light of those remembrances, and perhaps, trying to learn something about yourself through the reflection of the past. But looking into that past shows you more about others than it does about yourself, and it is uncomfortable. There's a lot of stress in you revolving around the idea of the people around you being close enough to you to take from you. There's been a lot of stress around the realization that you were in a space, until very recently probably, where people could be this awful with you, be completely untrustworthy and damaging to you, and they were so close. So I wouldn't necessarily call it a regurgitation of the past. It's just the reassessment that you needed. But there are a lot of letdowns. It's not you. You haven't done anything wrong, but people have let you down, and you kind of furloughed it and didn't want to think about it. And now you've had some time to sit and contemplate how people have behaved in the past few years. And it is so troubling, to say the least. Again, your morals and ethics are like, I could never. But that's okay. Makes me think, never me. Okay, sorry. Now, for single Leos, it's fun. It's exciting. Let's go. Let's shuffle some cards. It's fun. It's exciting. You're charming. You're self-centered. You're selfish. Everybody loves it. You're doing your thing, you're motivated, you have those shiny, glassy eyes again, right? Jupiter is in Gemini. If you have people out there that you are genuinely good friends with, and they're also the people that you're attracted to in life, that could easily blossom into something. Your frequency is just super friendly, and Jupiter's making some very friendly transits with the nodes. It's easy to meet somebody who gives you, regardless of what you like or who you like, give you like Big Daddy vibes. So we love that. But also I think that the reason we're attracting this is because our own energy, your fire energy, is so Big Daddy vibe. You can only attract what you are. That whole opposites attract thing isn't even true. It's that those people are secretly alike, and one of them is in the closet about it. So it's really fulfilling for them to be around the other one. Anyway, your energy is come to me. I got you. That's how you're moving right now, and the people you meet in July, especially in July, they just become, you already have the Ace of Cups, something turned over in the deck. You already have the Ace of Cups here, and now you have the Ace of Pentacles. So also, along with attention, along with monies, along with attention, along with proposals, we also have the monies. So unexpected financial gain, but also this speaks to King of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, stature. This is about chipping away at something until you basically step away from it, only to realize you've carved yourself a throne. You have been putting in so much work, and Saturn goes retrograde, and it's just like, okay, I'm going to pay you back for everything that you put in that you thought that nobody saw. Okay. Now, also, trust your gut completely for the next 30 days. Not that you don't, but your gut is just speaking to you, whether it's about potential partners. You may think they look amazing. If your gut says no, walk on it. Walk on it. Because you're in a place right now, whether you realize it or not, where you are, you know yourself. You've gotten to know yourself well, right? You know yourself. You're pretty clear on what's in those cups. But maybe it's time for other people to get to know you. Maybe your intuition is telling you not to run away from someone, but to put them in that zone where you can, not the friend zone, but in that zone where you can actually learn about them as a person, in the adult zone, let's say. What the fuck? What the fuck is a friend zone? You mean adults? Anyway, sorry. Just give people the space to get to know you, and don't add your fire to it. You know, let them bring their own fire and let them start a fire for you. And you could come and sit by the fire if you feel like it, but let people do the work. You know, if you're interested. If you're not, this Jupiter in Gemini is just having fun with your fucking friends. And it can turn here, there, somewhere. It can be like you're out with your friends and you guys are having such a good time that you attract the attention of the table next to you or the people next to you over there or at an event or something. And while you're with your friends, you end up meeting someone. So it's this is the energy, right? This is where we're at until June 2025, inshallah. Now, when it comes to couples, the way that you can use this energy properly instead of taking it out on each other is just to move shit around. Like, I don't know, sometimes instead of getting all like in each other's faces and like duking it out with people, like maybe it's just as simple as like, we need to change the energy right now. This energy is not good. We just need to move stuff around. Let's make this house look good. Let's put the sofa over here instead of the couches over here instead of there. You know, let's put this in front of the window, whatever. If you've been thinking about moving, excellent time to move for you. You have this like very steady nature with the Taurus, and then you have these moments of, we're going to tell the truth about stuff. We have to be more flexible. We have to be more adaptable, says the Libra card. So this is you as a couple, but also those single Leos who are starting to look around at their environment and they see something they're outgrowing. For some of you, you're finally seeing the bars on the cage. For all of you, regardless of if you see the bars on the cage or you no longer live in the cage or you replaced your cage with a house, it doesn't matter. For all of you, in July, you realize, cage or not, the door's open. You are allowed to expand. You are allowed to move. You are allowed to give yourself more room, more mental space, more emotional space. You are allowed to put your foot down and say, this is what I need. Even if it's you that you're laying the law down with, even if it's you that you got to talk to like that, changing things right now will put you in an energy which will dissipate the nature of chaotic change that we have going on. It's like, okay, I'll explain it to you like this. I think this is so interesting. So in my Vedic astrology, I am a Leo moon. So I've been told that this particular year I should go to the hospital and just drink the water, or like, of course it's me, so I'm gonna eat the ice. I have a thing for ice. I know, iron deficiency. I know. But I'm supposed to go drink the water. Why? Because the energy of spaces like that is calling me. So if I just voluntarily go myself and indulge in that energy, I'm drinking water from the hospital, then it lessens the energy of that place pulling on my energy, if that makes sense. So in the same way, if we are aware that there is a system of chaotic change coming, and we know that for everyone, and I think you're beginning to understand in the reading now why you had that Gemini rewind, because the amount of positive change and yet chaotic that's coming, you know, requires that. You want to create the energy of change the way I need to drink water from the hospital. You want to create enough of that change and perhaps even controlled chaos in your life and start making some like real plans about expansion and moving to stay with what the energy is trying to get you to do so it doesn't get chaotic. Does that make sense? Please comment and let me know if that makes sense, because I never say that. I've never said that in a video before. But like, I genuinely want to know if that makes sense to you. Like this concept, because I love it and I would like to fuck with it more. So, okay. Okay, so one of the other things that like only Leos, you'd need to talk to them about this. Mercury is in Leo from the 2nd to the 26th. Venus is in Leo as of the 11th of June. The Sun is in Leo as of the 22nd. If you don't want to get cuffed and like wake up in a relationship, please be really careful, because everyone around you, avoid people who will manipulate you and power play you into relationships. Basically, they'll do whatever they need to. Like, they'll change what they want you to change, what you want them to change. They'll do what you want them to do. They're willing to jump through any fucking fiery hoop that your fire sign ass can throw at them. But yeah, no. No. I would not advise it. Not at the beginning of the summer, please. Okay, now next we're going to talk about, so the next part, the extended, is actually called the Great Reset. And I actually made the notes in a whole different part of my notebook, just because of how much we are here talking about money and then about stepping outside yourself. And so we're going to talk career and money, mental health, and then stepping outside yourself. Interesting topic. But before I go, there's something that I wanted to add to these readings that I think is really fun. And if you're still here, which I assume you guys all stay for the whole reading, perhaps you will love it. So if you are currently, we're going to go into the preview for the extended right after this, and then all the links are below: Vimeo, Patreon, PayPal link, and there's a link to get a recorded reading. You can get a 5-minute reading that looks like this, or a 10-minute reading where you're looking at the cards. Please just specify which one you want. They're the same price. And so, yes, okay. So now, this segment is called If You Are Dealing with a Leo. So if you have been watching this, or like cross-watching because you're like dealing with the Leo and you want to figure out what the fuck is wrong with them, this is for you. Okay. If you are dealing with a Leo and their season is coming up, right? Their birthday's coming up. This is what you have to understand. The preponderance of planets in their sign right now makes them so vain and so selfish and so lovable at the same time that you will get yourself played and you'll have the best time. You'll have the most amazing time, and they will play you the whole time, and you'll have fun, and it'll be amazing. They'll have fun. But their mind is set on something so big right now. So if you really, I'm just joking about that. I kid. The truth is that Leos are extremely ambitious. And right now they are set up to create great change in their life. And perhaps even for a lot of them, depending on their risings, they can create a system of great wealth that endures through time. So they're in the midst of a huge kind of planning process, or pre-planning even. How you figure into that has everything to do with you. Nobody can get to a Leo when they're in that mode, unless you are also willing to jump on that ship and be in that mode and be a part of their dream. And the dream, from what I can tell right now, from what I see, but from what I can feel, the dream right now is I want to be able to afford my life, my joy. Are people in relationships and love a part of that? Yes, but if you're thinking right now that Leo is in that mood where like romantic love trumps all, love will keep us alive, you know? No. Leos don't know what you're talking about. They're not here for it. They've been through their kind of rough patch of disillusionment. Now it's about creating legacy, I think. Pretty sure it's about creating legacy. And so if you really want them, you have to, and they're not going to tell you about this because it's private, it's none of your business. So if you want them, then you have to display that same dedication and determination towards your own life, not towards their project, if that's what you thought I was going to say. No, let them do what they're doing. But you got to be honest with yourself, because if you're not on that same level of commitment to something right now, you're going to get irritated and they're going to get bored. Now, how do you cuff them romantically without addressing this? You can't. Not right now. They're just not in the space. They have too much, mashallah, going for them to make false promises, give false hopes, make false commitments, and like fuck up their karma. They don't want to do it. They're very aware and in tune with how their energy is working right now and how they can basically think things up. And so when people get to that point, they get pretty pure in what they want. So trying to approach Leos right now with like overt sexual energy will backfire terribly, because it'll make them think something that you don't want them to think about you, because they're in a different mode and they compartmentalize things. So, and because they're very black and white as well, you have to be very careful right now. So if you are like, no, I just really want this person, I want them no matter what, I want them to see that I'm the best for them, then ask yourself, are you ready to be a full-time entrepreneur? Are you ready to put in the 20-hour days? Are you ready to let them go and work on whatever they're working on and not monopolize their time? Because these are the things on their mind. And these are the things we'll talk about in the extended for you, Leo. Why do I always look the cutest in the Leo videos? But just tell me. No, don't tell me. I know already. I love you. Let's look at the cards. Hi, Leo. Welcome to your extended. Well, welcome, first of all, to the preview. Everyone who is watching the general right now, hello. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about money. Like I said, Mercury will move into your sign on the 2nd of July. Venus will proceed to meet Mercury there on the 11th. And then the Sun will meet Mercury and Venus on the 22nd. So all of these planets, like we talked about in the general, will oppose Pluto. And that can lead to misunderstandings. The way to win and not give in to the energy of tension that these transits create is to be very aware of your disposition. You know how to turn it on. You know how to take control. But you also have this ability to do it with a very optimistic, sunny disposition that makes people feel at ease. They don't feel overpowered by you. This is a key in July to surfing very tense waters and feeling no edge off of it. You're just fine at the end of July if you can, inshallah, keep all dialogue constructive. No matter how much somebody wants to stray from decorum, you don't. And so what happens is that although there is pain around, although the tension exists, especially in money matters, you are able to cut through any tension, any bad blood, any misunderstandings with this sunny disposition. You are able to overpower the situation with your childlike optimism. So, first and foremost, if you want to make good money in July, create even more of a solid financial base for yourself, indulge in the things that put you in a good mood. There's only a handful of things. You're basically very real and simple people. I think that's one of the other misconceptions that irritates me so much. Oh, it's so grandiose and so baroque to be a Leo. Agreed. In some ways. Oh, the aesthetic can be so Miami. Agreed. In some ways. But the black and white of you guys is that you're very, very down to earth. And you're very particular about the things that matter. Sure, some of them may seem a bit dramatic to the rest of us, but they're not really. And generally those things fall into or under the umbrella of self-care. So if it's self-care or something of the sort, or if it's, moving your body a lot every day, or people are really getting into running again now, right? So going to the gym, running, taking a class of some kind, painting, dancing, what have you. Something that gives you a little spark and a little inspiration. So when you do have to check in with your clients or go run your business or go to your job, you're so full up with this sun energy in anticipation of your season, but also as a precursor, as if to introduce your season already. You want to be bursting with this sun energy, this really warm, let's be really kind and nice to each other because it's the right thing to do, and I'm sure we will be able to figure out whatever misunderstanding we're going through. That particular approach is going to give you so much leverage financially in July because everyone is irritated and they're combative, but also they want to pull other people into their misery. They want compatriots in their battles. So it's not just don't get into arguments and don't give into the tension, but also don't buy into anybody else's arguments and tension that they've been brewing because they can't tap into this energy the way you can. So it's hard for them to rise above. Not many people are left unscathed by these oppositions, but you have a powerful resource at your disposal. This, inherent combustion engine that is the Leo personality. Use it. Go ham, ham it out. Be a little bit dramatic even. Who cares? But just use it. Use that panache, that flair. Yes, I said panache, whatever it is, use it to keep everyone in good spirits. It only helps you. And it builds your reputation in a way that's very powerful and actually comes back to you as real dollars and cents. Okay, that is your preview. We're going to get deeper into this, and we're also talking about stepping outside yourself. That will all be at the links below. I love you.